Think about this.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so fancy. I've been telling him this is. I've actually been working through a whole like org chart redo for this.
You know I can help you with that.
I know you can, and we may have you come in and do it.
That would be great.
Right. All right. Perfect. All right, everybody. Let's get this going. Anyone that can hear my voice, you should probably come over. This is a pretty killer presentation. So, you guys, this is one of my dear friends, Steele Kizerian.
Can you see the whiteboard?
And he is an
Not
EOS
really.
implementer. Do you know what EOS is?
No.
You don't?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Dude. Okay. Get ready to.
Way to
mind.
shame him.
Yeah.
Shame,
He's
shame.
He's all right. He's strong. EOS is called the Entrepreneur Operating System, and it's something that I literally, like 6 years ago, I was trying to think of a really cool way to build a consulting program, and I started designing elements of what that consulting program would include. And literally, I discovered that some other guy already beat me to the punch, and it was called EOS. And it's an operating system for entrepreneurs to build and grow their businesses. This is my friend Steele, and Steele Kizerian lives up in the Blessed Valley, and he does EOS. He's an EOS implementer, and he's really fun to listen to. I honestly feel like this is going to be one of the better Foreman Series that we're going to have this summer, in that this is stuff every entrepreneur should be thinking about, pondering about, and trying to find your way through how to best org your company so that you can grow and scale. Because launching is one thing, growing and scaling is another, and you can't do it without systems. So with that, Steele Kizerian.
Hey. All right. I'm excited to be here. So I can be a fire hose and I can talk fast, and I don't want to I can go for hours on this, but I won't. So what I want to do, I was thinking maybe give you guys first of all, just a 10, 15 minute high level overview of that framework, and then let you tell me what you need, right? If you want to, hey, can you talk a little bit more about structure? My partner and I are trying to work out who does what, and we're kind of both doing everything, which is not good, right? So partner issues are a real thing. So if you need me to talk about that, I don't want to go where you don't need me to go. Okay? So I'm going to go high level. Just so you know, this works. I have clients who are a team of 2, and they just started off, right? Hardly any revenue. I'm surprised they're doing it actually. To clients that are doing hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue every year. So I have 7-figure, 8-figure, 9-figure, and 6, right? So it works. It works. So first of all, you can put down all your walls and your ego. Okay, just put it down. Okay, especially right here. I'm just kidding. I put down the ego of I know what I'm doing. I've got it. I'm not here to make you feel bad, but I am going to challenge. I'm not the expert. I'm not a typical consultant who's going to come in and tell you exactly all the little things. I'm not an answer guy, but I know this. And I know what it does, so I'm going to challenge and push. So if you are going to ask questions, or I might dig in with you maybe and ask and question and push and challenge. Okay. All right. Very good. So here we go. The whole point of the EOS, the whole point of this framework is that you get 3 things: vision, traction, and team health. Vision is making sure you're truly aligned. I promise you, if you have partners right now, raise your hand if you have a partner in the business. Okay? I promise you're not aligned. I'm telling you right now. Yep, I know. You're not. He's like, that's why we're sitting here. You're not aligned. And you think you are, but you're not. One time I had 2 partners. I'm like, hey, if I handed you a check for $25 million, would you sell this company to me? Partner A says, oh yeah. Partner B says, at a 0. That's a misalignment. Partner A is making decisions to sell at 25. The other one's saying 250 million. Big difference. And that's a small example, but there's a lot of areas where you think you're on the same page, you're not. And then they wonder why maybe things aren't going as fast as they could be. Why am I not getting the traction that I'm intentionally trying to get? And it's not just the partners. It's with your team. Raise your hand if you have people on your team. Okay? I'm telling you right now, it applies to employees, key people. Everyone has to be aligned. Everybody. To know where we're going, how we're going to get there. So that's vision. The traction piece is executing. A lot of people have great vision. They got a great strategy. Are they executing? Are they actually doing what they said they're going to do and owning it? No excuses, no blame game. Well, I just, well, Todd didn't tell me that, right? Or we don't blame anyone or anything. Okay? And the healthy piece, this is huge, especially in partnerships, but the whole team. Are you actually honest? I'm telling you right now, I deal with companies that have like decades of things that they have swept under that rug. And why? I know it is kind of gross. Why do people sweep it under the rug? Why do you think? Okay, security. What else? Yeah. Yeah, like security. I don't want to rock this boat. Like, think we're growing. We got the revenue kind of thing. Like, I don't want to deal with it. And they sweep. But what they don't realize is, man, that thing is bubbling up. And all of a sudden, one day, that person's going to blow up and explode. And it's going to create issues. So we have to be healthy. You got to just say it. I disagree. You want a culture where your team members, people you're paying, you're the boss, and you're paying them, and they say, I don't think that's a good idea. And they're not afraid of getting fired. There's not this big, sorry, Mike. There's not this ego chest bump. I know you might think it, but don't create the culture where like, hey, what I say goes. Whoa. I'm telling you, you've got to create a healthy environment where we can say what we're really thinking and we're open-minded. We're open to anything and everyone, okay? That's what we're trying to get. So EOS has the framework. Behind me is that model, the circle wheel thingy, okay? Vision, people, data, issues, process, traction. All of your issues are in here. I promise. Promise. Most of your issues in a company, over 80% of the issues in companies are people issues. Right? Have you ever hired the wrong person? How's that feel? So fun, right? We all do it. No one, you're all going to do it. It's going to happen. Have you ever been around in a company in your career where you're like, that person, you're walking on eggshells around that person. They're toxic, pretty negative. You're like, why are they keeping that person? Well, they're the top salesperson. Not healthy, right? So like, we've got to make sure that to solve the people problems. And that includes the structure. That includes the culture you're trying to build, okay? So vision real fast, getting aligned. We can answer these 8 questions over here. I can go deeper if that's where you want. Core values, core focus, core target, the marketing strategy, your 3-year picture, 1-year plan, rocks. I can go into that only if that's what you need. But that's the vision. Got to be super clear, but it's also simple. Right? Don't you dare type up with ChatGPT, Grok, whatever you want to use, and show up and say, hey, team, here's our vision.
It knows better than we do.
No, it doesn't. Nice try. Right? Don't do it. And especially walking in, like, no, you create it. Create it together. I'm telling you right now, create it together. I promise you it'll go, like, you'll get way more traction from that versus this. Here it is, and it's a 15, 20 pager. Boom. You look on page 17, the next strategy, I'm like, oh man, one page strategy. Okay. All right. People component, right? This is getting right people who match the core values in the right seat. The right seat, we build the right structure so that we know who owns what. Right? And you're small. When you're smaller, it always feels like it's what? Always all hands on deck. It feels like that a lot of times, right? Like we're scrappy. We don't have revenue. We don't have cash to pay someone to do it. I can't delegate it. We're all a team. We all are doing it. And I get that. But I'm telling you right now, you're setting yourselves up for blame. You're setting yourselves up for excuses for not hitting key targets. You both can do it. If you're a partnership, it's just you. Yeah, you both can do it, but who owns it? Who's driving the accountability in your wonderful organization of 3 or 1? Obviously 1. But especially if 2, like who owns what? We're gonna help. I want to know, hey, I own this. If I own sales, we're both doing sales, but if I own sales, it's my fault. If we're successful, it's my fault that we fail. If I own ops, if I own finance, whatever it is. So I can go, but just talk about it, okay? Then there's a thing called the scorecard we can jump into, right? What are the true leading indicators? A lot of times we have KPIs, right? A lot of times people have KPIs, but they don't have weekly targets on it. I'm like really confused by that. What are you fighting for? Who owns it on the leadership team? And that's based on this. Not, well, we all own it. No. Who owns marketing? The function. I do. Okay, great. So you own it. Bill, right? Whatever it is, or Barbara. Okay, so you get really clear. I can jump into this later, but it's the 5 to 15 measurables that are leading. My fun analogy here is if you've ever been to the hospital and you're in the room and you're on the machine and it goes beep, beep, right? Okay. And then it goes beep, 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 beep. What happens? The nurse walks in. We'll assume it's a woman. And she walks in and she's like, oh, hey, sweetie, how you doing? Oh, I'm fine. I think I'm fine. And she looks at this stuff, oh, great, let me just fix this. Okay, you're good. You need anything? No, I'm good. All right. How does she walk in, by the way? Is she walking in frantic? No. She's done this. She's hearing that blasted beeping constantly all day. She's not, oh! No, she just, hey, how you doing? No emotion, just, hi, let's just see. We don't need to react yet. Or she comes in, hey, how you doing? Ooh, okay, so I need doctor, this is this stat we need, and then she reacts and responds. They don't set the parameter to go beep, 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 only when they're dead. Why not? You're too late. You can't do anything about it. That would be lagging indicators like, okay, I can't do anything about it. I guess it's too late. So we want to know what are the things that will tell us we pulse, we're healthy, we're strong. Mayday. If this continues for the next 6 weeks, we're going to have a huge sales problem. We're going to have an ops problem. We're going to have an error problem. We're going to have whatever it is. Okay. That's that. Issues. Peace is like, we got to create the culture. We can say what the issues are with each other without fear. And then we solve it. There's a tool called IDS, which I can go deeper on. Identify, discuss, solve. But it's really, how do you solve a problem forever instead of the weeds, right? Keep popping up, those fun weeds. I think a lot of times we're like with these awesome weed whackers in our business. We're like, yeah, look at that. It's beautiful. Next week, more weeds. Right? Like, we want to solve forever. So that's you got to constantly say, yeah, but does this solve this issue forever to never happen again? Be like, well, that's not important. Like, no, you can solve it forever. I promise. And if you think you can't, that's in your head, get it out. You can solve it forever. Okay. Then we can talk about processes, right? That's where scaling can happen, where profit comes in. But a lot of times we document stuff, and I'm like, don't document it until it's proven. When you know, when I do A, B, and C, I'm going to get D every single time. And so we do the process the right way, the best way, every single time consistently, and we're not winging it every single time. When you get your new hire, they're like, well, I worked over here at this sales company, and here's what I did. We're like, yeah, that's nice. This is our way. This is how we do it. But we're open to you sharing insights, but right now I need you to follow our system. You got to know your system, okay? And lastly, the traction is like, you have this great vision, we hallucinate, great, bring it down to the ground and actually make it happen. You can get the results. I had a session 2 days ago, And just as an example, they had a big vision, and they're getting the results because they're doing this. What did they do? In their first quarter this year, they had a target of $4.5 million in revenue. They hit $6 million. They had a target of their profit. They doubled their target profit. They already have done half of what they did last year just in Q1. Just in Q1. So think about the momentum that they have. And that last year was a record year, and that was a record quarter, and now it's a record quarter, and it's possible to get the results when you bring this down to the ground. Okay. There's a lot that goes into it, like a weekly meeting here. I can train you on how to have a powerful, effective meeting so that you actually get stuff done. But what do you need? Because I want to make sure I'm good on time with you and help you and be effective and meaningful. I hate boring meetings. What do you need? I can go deeper on stuff here and then here.
Yeah, going back to the people section, as I'm not sure I'm going to go in the same boat, but as a sole founder, looking potentially to bring on co-founders, but currently just working with a lot of AI, which may just be stupid, and that'd be great to hear if it is. How should we apply this model of building out essentially like this very lean C-suite for our startup if we're trying to stay lean and leverage AI before we bring on co-founders? How can we apply those principles to stay organized with AI, to stay smart with AI,
Yeah.
to be able to stay organized and accomplish the full suite, but also stay lean?
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I think it was funny when people at your stage have like CMOs, like full-time CMOs. I'm like, you don't need a full CMO, right? You don't need a full-on CFO, right? There's stuff out there. So like, I'm always like, yeah, eventually we can get there. Yes, AI, use as much as you possibly can, leverage the daylights out of it. Of course, right? It's lean. There will come a time where like, okay, I actually do need people, right? And so what I would do is like map out your potential structure. Like, okay, like which person do I need the most? Do I need a head of sales right now? Like someone to drive. And at your stage, it's not a true head of sales. Like your head of sales is your sales, right? Like when you're small, you're like, congratulations, you're the sales rep, the SDR, you're the VP of sales and the CRO for your ego, right? Like, great, go sell, right? Drive revenue. Or maybe you're like, honestly, I can keep selling right now. I need someone to take over like ops. I need a director of ops, like fulfillment and execution. And so that I can, and don't worry so much like I'm the visionary and now I need an integrator. You're not really there yet when you're small, especially if it's just you. Don't worry about like finding your number 2 integrator right now. Just find someone who can run ops or sales or finance, like whatever you need kind of a thing. And a lot of this can be fractional too on the finance side. So I wouldn't necessarily go find your first hire, like an accountant, like, you know, I challenge that. If you really feel it, okay, it's your money or investors' money. So be careful, but that's how I say that.
I'd love to hear about what goes into like the weekly meeting, and then like how that might translate to like monthly and quarterly meetings as well. Like how you can like discern like what to talk about and break it down.
Yeah, for sure. First of all, like I hate meetings. Like raise your hand if you love meetings. Yeah, like I don't like them. I'm like, you know, why do you not like them? I know why you don't like them, but why don't you like them? No, I mean, most people are, okay? And so you're all over the place. And so you're kind of like, have you guys ever been in meetings? You're like, so who's doing, oh, you just wanted to vent. Okay, great. So
for an organization where everybody had their computers out and they were all
everyone's like, oh yeah, I'm here. I'm like, baloney, right? Like, I'm just being nice by even letting your computers be up. Normally I'd be like, close those suckers, okay? Yeah. What? You did. You're a good student.
My phone's been off most of the time.
Most of the time, but you still have it there for your addiction. Okay, so like, but we hate meetings, right? I don't want to have pointless meetings. Like that's like the worst thing possible. Any meeting has to have a clear, like, what are we trying to accomplish here? What are we solving? What are we going to do? And very clear at the end, who's doing what by when? Not like, oh yeah, I'll do that. Okay, good. You're going to do that? Yeah, I'll do that. Okay, when? Well, you know, like maybe end of May. Feels pretty far out, don't you think? I don't know. Is that something you could do by Wednesday? Well, I mean, it just feels like, I know, but can it be done by Wednesday? Yeah, okay, great. Done by Wednesday. Billy's going to do it by Wednesday. And then there's accountability. So EOS doesn't talk about monthly meetings, right? There's a weekly cadence and a quarterly cadence. There's quarterly full day sessions where we like get the leaders together and like get aligned, get focused, have accountability on, did we do what we said we were going to do for the quarter? Did you get all your rocks, priorities done, right? That kind of thing. But the monthly, usually the monthly is like, you know, they want to have a monthly financial meeting. Great, go do that. If you want to have a monthly sales meeting, fine, do that. But I'll talk about this meeting here. So the L10 is called a level 10 meeting. This is a meeting with your leadership team. So visionary integrator, which I can talk more. If people need that, you just tell me. And the heads of the functions, okay? That's where they're there. So every week, 90 minutes. A 90-minute meeting. How do you feel when you hear a 90-minute meeting?
Well, we do it on Fridays, and I don't look forward to it.
Okay, and you don't look forward to it, and why not?
I just get restless. Like,
Okay.
we
Are you doing this?
We probably not. I'm interested here to say.
Okay. It's the wrong meeting if you don't look forward to it. Because if we do it right, it should be the most important meeting of the week. And I would challenge you to move it from Friday to Monday. Because if you're doing your big meeting on Friday and you're like, wow, you leave with momentum, clear assignments, you're like, yes, weekend, family, and then we're distracted. And then we're like, oh yeah, but Monday, it's like jumpstart the week. Boom, let's go. I forgot about that. Okay, I got to do it. So here we go. These are all time numbers. So 5 minutes. First of all, you start on time, you end on time. How does it feel if you're supposed to start your meeting at 10 o'clock and the owner, walks in at 10:12 every time? How do you feel? How does the rest of the team feel?
Resentful.
Why?
If he's going to waste your time like that, why?
Yeah, right. It goes both ways. Show up on time. If you go over a meeting, how does that work? How do you guys feel? Oh, you're not even there anymore. Okay? I don't know if you're churchgoers, but you go to church and someone's giving like a sermon or a talk, and you're like, bro, 5 minutes to go. And then all of a sudden they're like, and now the rest of my 2/3 of my talk, I'm going to give there 5 points. And you're like, 5 points? 10 minutes of the intro, and now it's 11 o'clock, and you should be done. Okay? You all know the feeling. And then it's like 11:05, 11:07, 11:10. What are you guys thinking? You're ticked. You're like, dude, bro, read the room, man. This isn't your moment, okay? Like, so it's the same thing. Don't go over. End on time, right? Don't hijack other people's day just because you think it's important, right? Make sure you have the interest. Okay, same day, same time, start on time, end on time. Here we go. 5 minutes, segue. This is simply good news, right? There's this psychology of like, it's not just all business, straight business. Like, hey, what was the win for the weekend? I walked my dog. I don't like dogs, but like you walked your dog. Okay, great. Or whatever it is. I know it's a fault. It's a weakness. I'm sorry. I had traumatic experiences, okay? All right. I did. So 5 minutes, don't go over, please. Okay, then 5 minutes is the scorecard review. So we came over here, we had our, 5 to 15 leading indicators, and then you're tracking it over 13 weeks. Billy owns leads. Here's the goal for that. And every week, we're going to look at Billy. We're going to say, all right, Billy leads. Target's 47, was 48. And so Billy, and Billy says, on track. Okay? Demos. So Sally, demos. We have to have 26. It was 12. So Sally, what does Sally have to say? Off track. We don't even make that comment yet. That's okay. No, you're fine. Off track. What do you think Sally wants to say in this moment? Excuses. Well, if I had more consistent leads from Bill, then maybe I could. That 12 and April 14th was real hard for me. We start blaming and excuses, or the visionary either Sally, I might mess up names, okay? So Sally might be complaining or excuses, or the visionary comes in, he's like, 12? Are you kidding me, Susie? Again? Like, this is unacceptable, right? We're paying you this salary. I thought we fixed this. What the bop is going on? Okay, no. Take out emotion. Right? It's not your time to hijack the meeting. It's not for her time to hijack the meeting. All we're going to say is drop it down. Off track, drop it down to the issues list. Demos off track. Right there. That's it. Now, why do we want Sally, Susie, whatever, just, why do we want Sally to say off track when everyone already knows it's off track? You already see it? Ooh. She's so mad to say it. It eats her alive. I'm like, good. Feel a little shame. Like, feel a little, pain. So that we actually do something. Because next week, I want you ticked so much that you're going to do everything you can so that it's on track. And there's a bunch of other ones, right? Okay. Rock review. So every quarter, you should have really clear 3 to 7 company rocks, 3 to 7 individual rocks. Rocks are, what are the priorities over the next 90 days? Your human nature is, mine too. We can't focus beyond 90 days. And also, if I said, everyone, write down everything that has to happen in the next 90 days, I think you would give me a list like this, correct? Most likely, yes, okay. If not, keep working harder. It's going to be this. And then the challenge of that is you can't focus on all of that. You can't focus on the 35 things and do it well. So then you got to duke it out, push this out, fight against this, challenge each other to finally get, these are the 4 things that I have to do in the next 90 days on this date, no matter what. Right? So then we know I've got my rock right here. And here we go. And you're going to set your milestones and have a clear date of when it's done, when it's due. It's not like, we just need to do it. No, it's due, March, April. We're in April. May, June, July. So July 16th. Here we are today, July 16th. I've got to get this done. The most important thing for my seats that I'm in, and it might be Bill, Sally, when you're small. That's okay. But still, no matter what, 3 to 7, you can't say 3 to 7 per seat. You're not going to do it all. You won't. You think you will, you won't. So then, once those are set, then in this meeting, eye to eye, face to face, on track, off track, on track, on track, off track. Off track. Okay. I know it'd be on track, dude. I know, dude, bro. I know. He's like, on track. Off, yeah. Off track, okay? Off track. Oh, not blue. Come on. Purple. Color. Yeah, totally. Well, here. And so we're just doing this. What's the temptation when we're saying, all right, you want to get into it? You're like, wait, you're off track on that? Like, that's one of the most important things of our entire company this quarter, and you're off track? Okay? We don't discuss. Don't hijack the meeting. Okay? We're just trying to get to the point, and you'll see why it matters. One more point on this. We don't go, when you say on track, I don't go, oh, way to go, awesome. And then you say off track, and we're like, drop it down. And I just take out the emotion, drop it down, on track, off track. Like, this is a reporting quick. Notice it's 5 minutes, not 15. Then we go here, next part here, and set a timer. Okay, so you do it. Then it's like, hey, customer or employee headlines. Hey, real quick, something, whatever it is. This deal came across the table. This happened here. Notice it's called headlines, not articles, blog posts. Headline, 1 sentence. If not, you're going to hijack. You're going to ruin it. You're going to take over. And you're like, well, this is such a funny story, man. And all of a sudden you get into story mode and you're like, oh, I found this video. It's so cool. And 12 minutes later, everyone else is like, oh, that's great. Susie, come on. So quick customer employee headlines, that's it. To do, these are not your day-to-day to-dos that you have to do. These are the solutions from the last meeting and previous meetings that we said, Tommy's doing this, Sally's doing this by this date, and we're driving accountability. So I'm going to go, Tommy, done, not done. Oh, you're not Tommy, sorry. Tommy, done, not done. And he's going to say, done. Susie, done, not done. Not done. And we move on. We go through the list. We need to knock out this list, like 90% of this list. If this list over weeks gets like this, we have an execution problem. And there's plenty of excuses about it. We don't care. We solved some of the most important things and said this is what needs to happen, and you're not getting it done for you're 8 weeks overdue. And this is like 1 to 2 weeks. Okay? This makes sure that nothing falls through the cracks from any meeting of clear who's doing what by when. Then you get to the heart of it. IDS, 60 minutes. If you go through this faster, whoo, that'd be awesome. If you get 70 minutes, because we always end on time, okay? So what do? Man, we have our issues list from the week. Do things come up in the week and your partner says, hey, well, let's talk about this. And you're like, not right now. I'm in flow. I'm rocking. And you want me to stop coding to look at your marketing? Like my brain, like, okay, and then we do this, and then the coder has to go back, and they're like, do you think they can just jump back in? Like, it's easy? Like, where was I? No, they got to be like, okay, where was I? Here, flow, what was I thinking? There's so much that goes into it. I'm using the coding as an example, applies to everyone, everything. So a lot of times, the issue can wait. The meeting can wait. So just say, hey, put it on the list. Let's talk about it in our L10 on Monday. Just put it on the list. So we don't have to hijack each other's day all the time. I would say, is someone dying? Are they bleeding? No. Are we going out of business in this moment? No. Okay, it can wait. Most likely. Of course, there are exceptions. Okay, I know how to say it. So then we have your issues. We have all the scorecard items that are off track for the week. All the rocks, the priorities that are off track. And then we go, okay, for the greater good of the company, what's number 1, number 2, number 3 most important? That's 1. Okay, that's 2. All right, that's 3. You don't go top down. You don't go, oh, let's do these ones because they're fast. We can just do those one really quick because you think, oh, let's just get through things fast. No. Okay? If you ever have on here company lunch on Friday as the issue to talk about, I will throw chairs, I will throw tables, and don't talk to me ever again. Okay? It's got to be the most important things. So, what do? It's not like, okay, what's your one? What's your one? What's your one? What's your one? No. It's whoever says it out loud. Now, I would love for some, oh, sorry about the mic, I keep touching. What I would love is someone who's sitting in the sales seat. Man, what do you think they all want to talk about? Sales. I would love if they're here that they're like number 1, boom, and has nothing to do with sales, and it's an ops thing. Why would I like that? We're working as a team. You're not here for sales. You're here as a leader on the team. We got to think about the most important because they all touch each other. You know, a lot of people are like, sales is everything. I'm like, okay, I get it. Yeah, but sales would do squat if operations is horrific. Because if you can't fulfill, that puts a lot more pressure on sales. You got to do more sales. You're not getting repeat customers. You're not getting referrals. You're not getting the contracts you need. It's just harder. So they all matter. So 1, 2, 3. Number 1, whose issue is that? Oh, that's yours. Great. Okay. In one sentence, what's the issue? A. Da-da-da. And we start doing IDS. Identify, discuss, solve. Now, here's the deal. We got to identify the root, okay? The root cause, the real problem we're solving. Most people, men especially, we hear a single sentence of a problem. We're like, yes, I can fix it. Oh, you just need to do this, you idiots, right? Like, we just say that one sentence. I'm like, hold on, okay? Be a doctor, a detective. Like a good doctor's not like, a bad doctor's like, oh, your stomach hurts. Well, here's some Pepto-Bismol. Pay the lady on the way out. Like, oh, thanks. A great doctor's gonna be like, well, what's wrong? How long? Where does it hurt? When I press here, does it hurt? Do you feel a ringing in your ear? I have no idea. I don't care. The point is, get to the root. What's the? I feel like my shoulder's blocking you. Get to the real problem. You matter, okay? Then, so A, and I go this. Okay, what are all the reasons why A is happening? Oh, it's because of this. What else? Well, this. What else? What else? What else? What else? So you're saying all of these are factors for why that's happening. Yeah. Anything else? No. So you're saying if I solved all these, that you solve it forever? Well, no. Okay, what else? Well, you needed this. Okay, great. Now what? Well, from here, from this list, what's the biggest factor? Well, probably this. Okay, why is that happening? Why is that happening? Why is that? Why is that happening? Okay, and we just keep going until, and it takes patience. Okay, there, see, she really showed you mattered. I apparently didn't. Okay, okay, so then you're like, oh, this is the real problem. To our best ability, we're not gonna be great at it. So this is it. And you're gonna, by the way, you guys are gonna be horrible at this. It takes time. It's okay. Okay, now we discuss. Now here's the thing. We discuss all solutions, right? This is not just discussing the problem. We spent time on why it's happening. Now we're saying, what are solutions? Everyone, okay? Get everyone's ideas. I want your dumb ideas, your stupid ideas. This is your chance for buy-in, right? On this team, you have to have buy-in. You want your key people to have buy-in, right? And a lot of times the answer is clear. Other times it's not, and we just go, all right, integrator, make the call. What are we doing? And they decide. And they're going to say, you know what? Sarah's going to do this. Tom's going to do this. And Billy's going to do that. And then we go, all right, so Sarah's going to do this by this date. Tom's doing this by this date. And Barb is doing this by this date. Are you clear, Sarah, Tom, Barb? You're good? Yeah, I'm good. Okay, so we're solved. We're solved. All right, number 2. Whose issue? You do it over and over and over again. Always focus on solving the most important things. Keeping it flowing. No tangents. No sidebars. Keep it locked in. No multitasking. Once you go through that, you're like, ooh, we've got 12 minutes left. What's number 1? What's number 2? What's number 3? 1, 2, 3. Keep going. And then you conclude. Quickly, you just say, hey, I'm going to recap all the new to-dos. Okay, so you're doing this, you're doing this, you're doing this. Yep. Okay, good. All right. Any cascading messages that the development team needs to know, that the sales team needs to know, that the reps need to know, the technicians need to know. Yeah, boom, boom, boom. And then you rate the meeting 1 out of 10. That's your answer.
That was incredible.
Okay,
Thanks so
great.
much.
Yeah. Ooh. Yes, sir.
Just as a point of reference, can you go through the org chart, the people real quick, and how does it cascade down? And what's a good practice for smaller companies to understand how to plug people into the right roles?
So a lot of times when you're in this stage, it's kind of like, oh, well, you can do this and you do this. We kind of just get stuff done. Kind of have to. I would also recommend eventually, right, is getting clear on like, what is the right structure? You know, a lot of people have org charts. That's great. I'm not going to knock them too much. But like, I care more of like, what is the sales seat? Sorry, no offense. What is the sales seat? The sales, like, and so I might say sales. Okay, they have leadership, management, accountability because they have people reporting to them. In our company, they're doing prospecting. They do demos. They do all the proposals, and they close. And some people, because you're small, they also do all of our customer experience or success or whatever you call it. Okay, now that we have a clear seat for the head of sales, just because you're the head of sales doesn't mean that you have to do it all. It just means you're accountable for it in that department in the company. And then if there are people underneath, then you will delegate pieces. You might get a customer service rep, and then they own that, and then they've got their clear lines of responsibilities. Please don't make massive job descriptions of things that are impossible. Like, must be able to, and there's like 40 things, and you have to have 20 years experience, but we're going to give you entry-level pay and, you know, all that fun stuff, okay? So Once that's there, then we go, okay, who's the best person to own this seat? Right? If you're partners, you might say, all right, listen, let's be honest with each other. Because just because here's the problem in partnerships. Sometimes it's like, well, it's the first person to say, I want to do that. And they're like, oh, well, shoot, I wanted to do that. Well, and he did invite me into this. Like, okay. We don't challenge. Okay. It's okay to have bake-offs. All right. So what do we say is, okay, let's say both of you, just use the example because it's easier here. You both are like, I want to be head of sales. Hey, I also want to I want to own sales. Fantastic. That's beautiful. Okay, great. Let's see if you GWC the seat. And so you go through and say, okay, all right, let's see this.
Green.
What?
Green.
Green?
Yeah, green pen.
Thank you. All right. Get it? Want it? Crush it. Okay. What's your name?
Justin.
All right. So Justin. And what's your name? Joel. Okay. So we would say in this room with people, or if it's just you guys as the only group, fine. I'd say, okay, I really want you to think, do I get it? Meaning, do I get everything in this seat? Do I understand it? Like, do I wake up and I'm like, easy, boom, I'm just born that way, right? There's a reason why engineers are engineers and accountants are accountants. Doesn't make them, it's just great. I'm like, thank you. You don't see a lot of creative accountants who are into art and vibing, and they just don't because they get certain things like numbers, and some people know 3D dimension. It doesn't matter. Okay. Do you get it? Do you want it? Like, holy cow, I want it. I want that seat. I want it. I just love sales. I love the uncomfortableness. I love being a hard closer. I actually hate being hard. I don't do hard closers. But I want it. And I want every single piece of this. Okay? Can you crush it? Crush it. Do you have the skill set, the ability to knock it out of the park? Mental, emotional, physical, all those things. Can you do it well? Because we're going to have to say, all right, Justin, yes, let's just be live here. Justin, do you GWC the head of sales seat?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
So do you get it?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want it?
Yeah.
Okay. And can you crush it?
Yeah.
All right. Joel, do you get it? So no? Okay. No. Do you want it? No. Okay. Can you crush it? No. Right? That's a pretty obvious dichotomy there, right?
But did you have someone that say yes or?
Oh yeah,
say
for
yes or
sure.
no?
Absolutely. Then we duke it out. We just say, okay, I get that. And when you're small and you do all this, you're like, okay, you're also in 6 other seats. This one is really important. Which one is the most important for you to be in? Let's talk about it, right? You cannot share the seat. If you both own the sales seat for the whole company, why would that be a problem? Yeah, confusion, or if you have reps and you're like, hey, do this, and like, well, Justin said do that. Yeah, don't listen to him, okay? Just listen. I know better, right? And then it's confusing. They got 2 bosses. It creates confusion. You cannot share a seat. You can have more than one seat. You cannot share the seat. So just get really clear. Boom, boom. Okay, great. And you do it for all the functions. Every seat first. You don't focus on people. Don't go, well, we got 2 partners and, well, you like this and you like, no. Build out your structure. Build out the seat. High level, like 5 to 6 things max here. Think high level. Then say who. Structure first, people second, and then build it out. And then it might be, Justin, and then Joel's like, Joel, right? Because you do way more than Justin. I'm just kidding. All right. He's like, I'm validated live here. Okay. So that would hopefully answers that. Yes, ma'am.
I'm thinking of doing the L10 meeting and with our group. My business is interesting because we don't have a lot of people, so we're not able to throw that fear under their bums and saying, okay, go somewhere else, because there's just not a lot of people where we live. And we have a really great team, but one is very details oriented, getting in the weeds and everything, and the other person is like, give me the big picture, give me these 3 things, leave me alone, and let me do my thing and stuff. So how do we merge those two?
Yeah, to me, I'm very results driven.
Yeah.
Right, like everyone is going to be managed a little bit differently, and to a degree, like, and as a leader, I'm like, what do you need from me?
Yeah.
Some need a little bit more help, others don't. The last thing we want, though, is to have to micromanage. If I feel like I'm micromanaging, I've made a hiring mistake. If I have to like, holy cow, what is going on? Did you do it? Is it done? Can you get it to me? Is it done? Hey, we really need that. Like, they're not GWC. Okay. I don't want to hold hands, but I want results. Right. So at the end of the day, if it's this, I'd say, hey, you know what? At the end of the day, this is what success looks like for the quarter, for the month, and for the week. Here are your key metrics. And I'll get out of your way. If you have right people who match the culture in the right seat, you don't have to manage them hardly at all. It's like, get out of their way. They're like, I got it. And so I would infuse that of like the results you're driving for. It's not see you later, here's a hammer. It's here are the results I'm fighting for. Go get it. You need more detail. You need more vision. Whatever you need, I'll give you. But then also I need to be able to get out of the way and let go and delegate, and they actually can take it.
How do you know when to fire versus when to transition to another role? Like, say for example, you have somebody good at, like, they're decent in one area, but you can tell they're probably better in another one.
Yep.
And you probably want to hire out that position to somebody else because you know they have a stronger ability to fulfill. So how do you know when to like position them to another place or just fire or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, don't be afraid of hard conversations. Be honest, be open. Here's what I'm seeing. We avoid hard conversations and then endure the pain for a whole nother year or two. And I'm like, what was more painful, the conversation to have or the 2 years where they cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars because you were afraid to be honest? So let me just say that first. This piece here, right people, is really important. Like, they've got to match the core values. You better be fanatical on them. You better hire on them, fire on them, review, recognize, reward. If you're not willing to fire on it, it's not core enough. You have to be willing to fire on it, right? So once a quarter, you're doing a quarterly review with everyone on those core values. There's a tool called the People Analyzer, and you're talking about their seat, and you're having these conversations. I mean, you're going to have the conversation, but a lot of times, before you think they're not great, look in the mirror. Have you actually set them up for true success? Or did you say, well, I hired you and I expect you to just take it and run with it? Like, no, we got to be better onboarding at training of saying, here's what I expect. Here's our process. Here's every week you need to hit this number and you need to do this. And this is the expectation. What resources? All that stuff. If you've done that and then they're continuously not, they're not just, they're struggling in this seat, right? It's like Joel trying to be in the head of sales seat and it's just not working, right? But Joel, let's say, is totally fitting the culture. He's really locked in on those values that we are fighting for, that is like vital to us. We don't fire Joel. We have an open, honest conversation. We say, hey, Joel, here's the accountability chart. Here's some open seats. Are there any seats that you feel like you could GWC? And maybe you put them there. We don't do the lemon dance, right? We don't just move Joel around because he's your cousin or a brother, which is hard. I do a lot of family businesses, and this happens all the time. Mom or dad who needs to go. Kind of crazy. But like, you can move them around if they're fitting the culture. Maybe there's a seat that they will thrive in. But if not, then a hard decision is made. And there's a whole thing in it that we talk about. There's a 3-strike rule. There's a process to kind of get people going on that path. It's not just immediate like, hey, you got to stink. You got to go. Right? No, like, give grace, train, level people up because, man, it's expensive to replace people. It's more expensive to keep people on who should not be there, who aren't GWC. Here.
And then could you explain the VMEI part?
Yes. Oh, thank you. Yes. All right. Visionary integrator. Visionary, Oh, see, look, she's offended. She's like, you know what? I'm joking. You're right. All right. You're not standing up, dude. Okay, I'm just kidding. All right. Visionary, high, like big relationships, big vision. They are focused on growth of the company. So think like M&A or acquisitions, strategic partnerships, shaking hands, kissing babies, whatever it is. They have a lot. They've got 20 ideas at a time. 18 of them are really bad. Okay? One's okay and one's genius. But the problem is they think all 20 are genius. So they need a strong integrator go, yeah, no, we're not doing it. Right? Like, so Visionaries does like big deals, big relationships. They do a lot of R&D. Like, what else is, where's the industry going? What else is out there? How can we do it? And they're focused on this, like the frontier. And then they have the I, that strong integrator who's going to be like all execution. So that we can just say, hey, let me just hand this off. And they get, I got it. Like, throw it, catch it, and then they're running it into the touchdown, not the visionary. Okay? Visionary can have the glory of the play call or throwing if they want for their ego. Okay? But the integrator is all about execution. Everyone on the team, the leadership team, they report directly to the integrator. They don't report to the visionary. They don't report to the visionary.
Say that again.
Everyone reports to the integrator. They don't report to the visionary.
Why not?
Why do you think? I know. First of all, how do you think the integrator? Let me tell you the integrator. The integrator, they own the P&L. They're in the trenches. They're having the hard conversations. They're orchestrating finance, sales, ops, engineering, blah, 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 whatever it is. Making sure, man, this thing is rocking and rolling, right? They're day-to-day trenches, okay? How do you think a visionary feels when they are stuck there? I'll give you a hint. Trapped, overwhelmed. Ugh! How do you think these people feel when the visionary is in the integrator seat? Not listened to, confused, like spurts of energy, like we're going to do this. And then like 3 months later, no, scrap that. We're going to go to this. And you're like, wait, what? Well, no, we're going to do this. And we're going to rebuild iHub. And then we're going to do this. I'm not calling you out, dude. No, but like the joke is that I say, but it happens all the time. Like the visionary, a lot of times they'll come into the team. They're like, oh my gosh, everyone. I've been up all night. I've been chatting with Grok. We had a long conversation. I had this epiphany. I dreamed and had this epiphany. And like, we're going to go do this. And everyone's like, well, what about the stuff we've been working on for about 7 months? Yeah. Scrap that. We're going to do this now. Okay?
Who would ever do that?
No one. It happens all the time. I see the body language, right? So it happens. It's normal. Like, and you know what? We love our visionaries. I always make it sound like it's bad. It's a good thing. Like, we want them doing those things. They need the strong integrator to go, hey, I love that. Way to be creative. I know that we are a water softener company, but I don't know if being a gutter company and also building a water amusement park with the filtered water is a good idea right now. Let's put that on the long-term issues list, and let's look at that in 90 days. And they go, oh, okay. And you know what happens? 90 days later, I'm in there with a session, and I'm like, is this one we're solving today? Not today. Is it kill? And it says, amusement park with filtered water. And you know what the visionary says? 90% of the time. What's that? What's that? I'm like, oh. Well, remember you said this because of this, because of this, because of this, and you're a gutter company? Oh, yeah. No. But if we had given into that, how much time would you have wasted? And bandwidth and resources, your precious limited resources, especially in a small scale. Holy cow, right? So that's where we need that strong integrator visionary. And the visionary is not great at managing people and leading them. They might say they are because of ego, and they might be okay, but they don't love it. It doesn't usually give them life and energy and joy. Like the whole point of this EOS framework is also to help you avoid the burnout. When you're burned out, how are you feeling? Drained. How do you show up at work? 50% late. Like you're just kind of not there. How are you showing up at home with family? Yeah, right. Horrible, right? We just check out. Like put on the game, and little Joseph, he's my youngest, and he's 7. And he's little Joseph, Dad, can you play? I'm like, no, kid, I just want to watch the game, right? Because we start checking out. We need to build a great business, but also have a great life. Don't think, well, I'll pay attention to those relationships once I build this, once it's this. Like don't neglect the relationships that matter most to us in the name of that relationship. I'm doing this for you, Billy, little Tommy. And he's like, I just want your time, Dad. I don't care about your money. Well, when he's a teenager, he will. But like, little Tommy wants me, wants my time. But if I'm neglecting little Tommy while grinding and building for 80, 90 hours a week, it's off. I'm telling you right now, you can do both. If you put the right things in place, the right structure. So you had a question, then we got to end because I got to end on time. It's 11:29. I don't want any eyes rolling.
This is awesome. By the way, thank you.
Okay.
So we just kind of portrayed the visionary as a silly goose, right?
Not a silly goose. But I know I did, but it's not. He's not, or she's not.
I'm just thinking like a smart visionary is not only going to come up with ideas, but they're going to think about how to integrate, right?
Totally.
They're going to want to be involved, and I feel like they're not mutually exclusive with the integrator. So you put the above I.
Don't get caught up on that. You can do it like this. A lot of times I've been doing this a lot lately.
Okay, sweet. Great.
And then this. So that first of all, for visual ego, it helps. They're like, oh, because we're partners, I'm not reporting to you. And I get it. Okay. But like this, but it's the most important, one of the most is doing a same page meeting, making sure visionary and integrator are aligned. Do it once a week, once every 2 weeks for an hour, 2 hours, 4 hours with your issues list. So you're fully aligned on ideas, integration, issues, and then they can go do visionary things. The hard part is when you get bigger, visionary isn't in the office kind of a thing. It's not a 9 to 5. It's like they're out golfing, networking, conferences. It's more free flowing, and you got to just be okay with that. If you're a partner and you're the integrator, the integrator is going to feel a little more grind, more day to day, but they're both valuable. You just have to work that out.
That's kind of sales-y, right? It's like
Visionary is sales-y because they're still part of big relationships, but then they hand off to the sales team for the contract, for proposals, for like putting it into their flow and their system for follow-up and integration. They'll hand it off.
So you still want to limit the bypass of the integrator. You don't want people reporting directly to the vision.
No, you don't, because then you also make sure they don't go around the integrator to the head of sales. Like, nope, that undermines them. Okay?
Awesome.
Yes, ma'am, and then I will conclude.
Yeah. So I was wondering, how would you like keep people you hire like continue to have their motivation since they start? Like, what would you do?
Yeah, I have found so first of all, number one reason people leave. Why? Bad manager, their boss. Bad experience. It's not pay. But we think we'll throw more money at them. It's not money. They're fine, actually. I mean, of course, they'll take it, sure. But it's not money. People would rather take a pay cut at another job than be there with that toxic Billy. Right? So, creating the right culture, being obsessed on your true core values. These aren't good ones. These are a joke, right? Funny, smart, kind. But, your true core values, you start attracting the right people, repelling the wrong. You're building an intentional culture of who you want here. And then retention is you're showing them where we're going in this 3-year picture. They know their priorities and how they fit into the 1-year plan. They know where they own, what seat they own. They see that there's growth. They see vision of where we're going. They see a huge, big picture of holy cow, I want to be on that rocket ship. And we value them. We don't micromanage them. We set them up for success and get out of their way. People want to be part of something meaningful. They don't want just a job. And if they want a job, they're probably not right for you. So that's where you're going to get retention. People love the company, the people. They're like, oh my gosh, I love it. I worked at Qualtrics way back in the day. I was employee 103. It was because of me. I'm joking. But I was amazed how many people were staying. I'm like, bro, you're getting like, at the time, it was $2,000 a month was the salary. It was for sales. And I'm like, you've got a family. And like, I know you didn't hit quota the past 2 or 3 times. So like, you're not getting commissions. And they're like, I know, but like, they've got ice cream and they've got the breakfast thing. And I'm like, and I'm like, dude, that's not culture. I'm like, you're kidding me. Like, you could go make probably 5 times more right now that day when I was there and buy your own ice cream and buy your own cereal, right? But like, I'm joking, but Qualtrics, right? What do they try to do? I'm not saying you have to have those things. I don't think that's totally culture. But like, they try to create an environment where people loved being there, and people will stay a lot longer because of the vibe, the feeling, the flow, the frequency, whatever word you want to use, they'll stay because of that.
When they know what they own too. Like,
well, yeah, clear seat.
The lack of clarity of knowing what their seat even is.
Yeah, it's funny when I'm working out flow with companies. These are companies doing $100 million or $10 million a year, and I'm like, hey, so who owns this? And what happens? Right? Wait, who? Well, we both do. Well, wait, no, you don't. Or I'm mapping out their flow and their handoffs. Like, okay, so this happens first. What happens second? They're like this. I'm like, and the other one's like, no, it's this. And then the person's like, no, it's this. I'm like, no wonder you're having a disconnect. Just having clear process, clear flow, clear seat owning, GWC, that's going to create it. Okay, so here, look, here's my cell phone. You can call me and ask me questions. Okay, it's not a pitch. Here to help. Text me, call me, whatever. Text is better. But like, there's so much to this. Right? It's overwhelming. Just pick one thing to like do good at and work on, improve. Then do another and start to build an intentional company that can scale massively without imploding. And that's it. Thanks, Aaron. Steele. Oh,
Steele.
I should probably write my name. I'll do purple.
Man Steele, not the man of Steele. He is Man Steele.
I'll put a Superman note.
Steele. There you go. Sorry, I went 5 minutes over.